Hello, everybody, and welcome, like Ramin said, to today's webinar. We are so happy to have you here. And yes, so it's called Efficient and Mobile Commissioning of Field Device. So let's just get into it. Before, though, I would like to introduce you to Softing a little bit for those who might not know. Softing is an industrial automation company specializing in providing data integration and industrial communication solutions within any process plant or industry. Our portfolio's primary goal is to offer products and services that enhance the efficiency, reliability, and performance of industrial automation systems. I am Abdullah, basically, as Ramin already mentioned. I am the product manager here at Softing for the mobiLink product family, which we will get into a little bit later. So on our agenda today, I will take you through the process industry, what it looks like, and then introduce you to the mobiLink and why it is the solution for you. Then we can have a live demo and end it, as Ramin said, with a question and answer. So be sure to post your questions in the chat and or in the question section, and I will get to them later. All right, so in today's process industry, the factory is alive and there are a lot of sensors gathering data and executing processes autonomously. You never know when something might go wrong, and having the ability to go up to these devices and diagnose and commission them becomes super important. Workers, like technicians in the field, need to access these diagnostics and adjust configurations accordingly as an emergency comes up. So in this case, downtime must be minimized and efficiency maximized. In this industrial landscape, mobile communication devices that are able to go up to these field devices aren't just convenience, but then they become necessity. They unlock the full potential of smart factories, empowering workers to stay connected, agile, and responsive. So I want you to imagine basically a problem situation here. Imagine an explosive hazardous area where several process automation protocols have been implemented in terms of what field devices are using. And for maintenance and diagnosis, a technician or a field engineer must access these devices and do it as fast as possible, because let's say something is wrong and you can't just have the factory basically left unattended or something not working, because it has to be on 24/7. And of course, an X zone. So what might this look like for the average technician who is not a Softing customer? So here you can see the field devices might have multiple protocols implemented and in multiple zones. So the device that a technician must carry also become a lot. So they might have to carry a device for Foundation Fieldbus, specifically for X zone, something for Profibus PA, and something for HART. So this creates a need for several interfaces. And this is honestly too much of clutter. You have to really know which device works with what, and you also have to carry this on you all the time. So the solution for this is the mobiLink. The mobiLink is able to connect to all different protocols and in just one rugged device. What is the mobiLink? mobiLink is a field communicator with wide range of options for configuring field devices, which means in terms of applications, it supports multiple protocols. You can configure, parameterize, diagnose, HART, a Foundation Fieldbus, and Profibus PA devices. It is rugged and intrinsically safe, which means it can withstand harsh manufacturing conditions, which means that it has an excellent certification. It also has a power variant for workbench application. So the mobiLink can power devices directly before you install them in the field as well. So you can parameterize them, and the replacement of an older field device becomes easier than ever, or installation of a new one. So here's what a typical setup would look like with the mobiLink. You can go in and connect to the bus or the device directly and connect to a PC or a tablet, depending on your connection. It could be either USB or Bluetooth, and then get the configuration information out of the device. And then, of course, the setup looks similar for Foundation Fieldbus and Profibus PA devices. And if you're thinking, how can I also read multiple devices at once? Yes. So if you just connect to the bus, you are able to read all the devices connected to that bus, and you can parameterize them individually. Again, depending on your choice, you can either use a PC or a tablet. It is completely up to you. And of course, you do this depending on your need. So we know that a lot of devices out there are HART devices. And if your need is only HART, then you only need the HART version, and you do not need to pay extra for Profibus PA or Foundation Fieldbus. So allowing for maximum efficiency within your workflow. So some important things that make the mobiLink unique. As mentioned before, for explosive environments, the mobiLink is extremely robust, and so we have ended up with X Zone 1 and 2 certifications to ensure the smooth integration of the mobiLink in your region. Currently, we are certified in China, USA, the EU, Canada, UAE, and South Korea, and all other regions that also accept these standards of the regions that we already support. Furthermore, of course, if there are certifications required for a certain region, we will also look into it, but this is of course taken by a case-by-case basis and what the business value is. Then another important factor is battery life. So the mobiLink can offer a long battery life, as you know. So you might not want to worry about, oh, is my mobiLink charged up? Do I need to charge it? Does it have enough batteries for today's work? To tackle this, the mobiLink can go up to 300 hours with Fieldbus over USB, 144 hours with HART over USB, and 50 hours if you're doing Bluetooth work, either over Fieldbus or HART. And if for some reason that's not enough, the mobiLink also has a low power mode, which ensures a battery for over up to a year, which basically just reduces the power consumption of the mobiLink and then allowing it to run longer. Of course, this would have a little bit of performance issues, or just make it a little bit more slower, but still great for your workflow. So you need to not worry about the battery anytime soon. Finally, I want to address the host of applications that the user might use with the mobiLink. Simply put, it depends on you. If you are if you're using FTI communication server, you can use the mobiLink with the ABB FIM, Emerson AMS, ProComSol DevCom applications, and also depending on if you're using it on Android, iOS, or Windows. If you're using FTT, DTM stuff, you can use Packware, Anderson Hauser, FieldCare. It just depends on here. You can actually use any DTM FTT based application because the mobiLink has its own DTM. So compatibility is not an issue. And finally, the mobiLink also supports simple serial communication, which allows it to also work with plant asset management systems like, let's say, the Emerson AMS Device Manager or the Siemens PDM really smoothly and really well. So now I would like to show you a little bit of live demo. We're gonna use Packware for this to make it simple, and then we have the mobiLink, of course, and then we're going to be using a pressure gauge with, of course, the device DTM. And I'll show you just how quick this is and how plug and play mobiLink can be. So now you should be able to see that I have Packware open. Here you can see the mobiLink comes with, I will just turn the mobiLink on. And yes, so once you're initializing, you'll see that the mobiLink comes with all the DTMs already installed, but you can also use the generic HART DTM if you're doing basically HART stuff. as simple as adding the device and connecting. And here you can see that the mobiLink has been connected. Now, the mobiLink has specific functions that you can also do, which you can see here because of the DTM. You can see that you can edit the DTM addresses of the devices, you can set the device address, you can show live list, and that is what we will do. Depending on the range, you can just do a scan to see what devices are connected. Here you can see that the Vega sensor is right here. And now you can just connect to the device. It is a Vega bar 64. So the live list will usually tell you the address to look for, and then you can connect accordingly. And here you can make the connection. Once you make the connection, you will be able to access the device, its parameters, and of course, diagnostics. We'll have to wait a little bit here so we can get into it. This speed basically depends on the field device and not the mobiLink. And of course, the protocol. Here you go. So now we have access to the device's DTM. As you can see, you can change the units being used. You can change the sensor mounting correction. You can see what it's displaying as well currently on the bottom left corner. This all depends on the device DTM. You can change what the display is showing, and you can also get access to the diagnostics of the device and to see that everything is working perfectly. And yeah, that's about it. If you have multiple devices, the live list, as mentioned before, will show all these devices and the addresses, and then you can connect to them based on the address. And that was it for the live demo. Now, back to the presentation. So, yes, so you can do pre-commissioning, diagnose and maintenance, parameterize, and then condition monitoring of a field device. So an overview of what we just went through to wrap it up. The mobiLink is a simple integration, and mobiLink is for a simple integration as a standard interface, which means it can handle major process automation protocols, which are HART, Foundation Fieldbus H1, Profibus PA. Then it's not really intrusive in your existing setup, so you can gain the additional functionality by just walking up to the device instead of having to change anything running in the system. And it has easy integrations in major engineering tools, which means there's FDT frame applications, but also FTI and DD-based applications. Then there are time and cost savings for you in terms of flexibility. So you decide if you want to use USB, Bluetooth, which format you want to use, which OS you want to use. And then the configuration is easy depending on that, because it supports multiple technologies, which are FTT, FDI, DD through our DevCom applications, and also DD through our generic HART simple serial communications. And of course, process industry, so it's approved for use in hazardous areas as well. And you do not need to worry about anything there either. And yes, so that was it from my side. Are there any questions that I can address?
Okay, I've got one question coming in, which is about from Martin Hende. Is there any need of maintenance for the mobiLink?
No, not at all, actually. So the only maintenance you would need to do is make sure the firmware is up to date. So if you do some bug fixes, you can just download the update from our web page. And also, of course, if you consider changing the batteries, that could be also maintenance. But otherwise, it's really just robust and plug and play.
Another question came in about the range of the Bluetooth. You mentioned that mobiLink works and connects via Bluetooth. Can you tell us about the range?
Yes, so the mobiLink works with up to 10 meters of Bluetooth range. So you can connect if it's a little bit further, but honestly, in our scenario, we're imagining that the technician would, or what our technicians already do, they would have a device on them. So that use case is covered pretty well with the mobiLink's range.
Okay, I got one from Sunil Yadhav, I hope I pronounced it right. Do we need to have a power supply for connecting to FFPA devices?
Depends on what you're trying to do. Like I mentioned, there is also the mobiLink Power version, which supplies the power to these devices before you install them. But with the regular mobiLink, we're assuming that the devices are already installed in the field, so they're being powered. So this means that if you want to power the devices, you can get the mobiLink Power, and then it works basically as a power supply.
Does it require regular calibration?
No. Like I said, the calibration depends on the field device, but so the mobiLink itself doesn't really have any calibrations to be made.
Then I got one from Tibor Stefan. What is the solution if I use AMS in a virtual environment?
If you're saying you're using an AMS device manager on a virtual machine, could be possible if you pass the Bluetooth from your PC that you're connecting the mobiLink with to the virtual device, but it depends on your virtual machine settings then. So this could be possible in theory.
As it seems right now, everything is pretty much clear. Thank you, Abdullah.
Thank you.
And thank you to all those who attended today's webinar. I hope you got some good insights. And if you check up our website, Softing Industrial, there you can also see webinars which we've provided on demand on related topics for accessing data. And you can also get a preview on topics which are coming up. Again, thanks for your attendance and have a good rest of the week.